journey, they then came to what is described as a high mountain. I can attest to the height of this mountain, having ascended it, but by automobile. And when one is at the summit, one is clearly apart from the reality below. It is to such an isolated spot where Jesus chose only 3 of his disciples to accompany him in this formidable climb, Peter and James and John. What happened when they reached the top of the mountain, described by the evangelist Luke in a few words? Jesus was transfigured before them, and his clothes became dazzling white. And as Mark said in his gospel, such as no one on earth could bleach them. And there appeared to them Elijah and Moses, who were talking with Jesus. The disciples were, of course, terrified, did not know what to say or to do. Peter, as usual, mumbled something about making 3 dwellings for Moses and Elijah and Jesus. But then suddenly the cloud overshadowed them, and God's voice clearly spoke to them. Listen to him. Listen to the one who has been transfigured before you. And then the mysterious event was over, going back down the mountain to continue on their journey to Jerusalem, on their journey to the Lord's passion and death, and ultimately resurrection. What God is doing in this luminous and mysterious moment on a mountain was allowing the 3 disciples to see the glorified Christ, the beloved Son of God, as one who would be present to the disciples, present to all of God's children following his resurrection from the dead. God was giving the select group of friends of Jesus a divine promise of hope. The hope that they and their Lord would be together eternally in God's kingdom. That kingdom begun here in this joy-filled and evil-filled realm, which holds our gifted and fallible earthly life. Yet the kingdom also, where the glorified Christ promises many mansions, where we might dwell with him eternally. Those disciples and you and I are given a vision of hope to see beyond the passion and death of Jesus to the glory God promises to his beloved children. This hope given to us is the cornerstone of our faith. We really cannot carry on with our lives in a world filled with the struggles and challenges within and without us, mostly without us in the current environment. We cannot carry on without hope. Without hope that what lies ahead for us, for our children and grandchildren, is good news. The good news of being blessed and of being forgiven and of being made new as ones created in the image of God. Being created in God's image means that we carry within us the presence of God, and we carry before us the divine example of God incarnate, teaching us and exemplifying for us what godly life truly is. And with a divine spirit empowering us to be who we are created to be, we have every possible transcends our earthly frailties and evils, hope that transcends even the present day news. The hope revealed to us by God in the transfiguration of Jesus is the hope that transfigures us as servants of Jesus, who know how blessed we are with his divine presence with us and within us. We, like Jesus and those disciples following their descent from that high mountain, we continue on our journey to Jerusalem. This week, that journey we travel is on our Lenten pilgrimage, our personal approach toward the passion and death and ultimately resurrection of our Lord. As that glorious vision of hope on the mountaintop was revealed, it was filled with light that could only be described as brighter than any bleach. I humbly challenge each of you, as I challenge myself, to consider as your Lenten discipline to shine forth with such light in your daily rounds. Be the light of Christ to someone who is lonely or afraid. Be a beacon of hope to a stranger or one who is oppressed. Be the light that shines through the darkness that inhabits the daily drama that consumes so many.